Hey guys, what's going on? It is the SHAREfactory here, and this is my review of Payback. Overall, I wanted to start off with, out of 10 stars. That's what I like to do with my reviews, as you saw with my WrestleMania one. I give it a 9 out of 10 stars. I thought it was phenomenal for a non-huge pay-per-view event. Like, Payback's just one of those pay-per-views that are there, like Extreme Rules is, and Battleground, stuff like that. The big ones are like SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and the Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank. Those are the bigger ones, kind of. So, Payback being a smaller pay-per-view, they really made it very well this year. I thought it was a great pay-per-view. But overall, we're going to start off with the kickoff show matches. Sorry, my bad. I'm still recovering from sickness. I'm getting there. I'm almost better. But we got R-Truth and Stardust starting off the kickoff show for the first match of the night. And I honestly thought the match was actually not bad. I thought it was okay. I honestly thought they should have had Stardust win that match, because I think they've been having Stardust's job to R-Truth too much. R-Truth isn't really a big name, neither is Stardust anymore. Like, they're just not part of storylines or anything anymore. So it was kind of a surprise to me that they didn't have Stardust win that match. But getting on to the next match, you had the Mega Powers versus the Ascension. I thought that was a complete waste of time. I mean, they could have done something better, like, maybe even Axel versus Sandow alone would have been better. Or just some other tag team facing the Ascension would have been better. I mean, it was just a terrible match. It shouldn't have happened. The Ascension ended up winning, of course. It just didn't make sense to have that match there. I thought that was stupid and a waste of time. But then the first match of the actual pay-per-view, we had Ziggler versus Sheamus, which ended up being a pretty good match. We saw Ziggler pull part of his tights over and have Sheamus kicks his ass, basically. Rubs his ass in his face. But that wasn't like the end of the match or anything. That was actually just part of the match. And I thought that overall the match was pretty good. I don't think it was a bad match at all. Sheamus winning, I think, was the right way to go. Sheamus returning, losing to Ziggler at Extreme Rules, like I predicted. I predicted that was going to happen. And then I also predicted before the match at Extreme Rules even happened, I said Ziggler was going to win the one at Extreme Rules, and then they're going to rematch at Payback, and Sheamus will win. It's exactly what happened. I thought that was the exact perfect way to go for that match. Now the next match was the 2 out of 3 falls tag team match between Cesaro and Kid and the New Day. Which, honestly, I didn't think the New Day should have won that match at all. I think Cesaro and Kid should have won the match. But the way that New Day won was actually good. Now, it was cheap, of course, but I mean, that was the perfect way to end the match like that. New Day beating Cesaro and Kid. We saw Cesaro and Kid get the first fall, and the second fall went to New Day, which is exactly how I thought it was going to go. And then I thought New Day was going to pick up a third fall, but damn it. It ended up being the New Day. Like, it was Big E Langston and Kofi Kingston facing Cesaro and Kid, of course. But the last fall, Xavier Woods came in and actually pinned Tyson Kidd and pinned Cesaro with a small package, and that was the end of the match. The ref thought Xavier Woods was Kofi Kingston, which wasn't really the case, but I mean, that's just what it looked like, so there's that. I seriously think it was a mistake having them win, but at least, the New Day won in a way that made Cesaro and Kid still look better than them, to be honest, but it also made New Day better heels in a way, So, for the next match, Ryback and Bray Wyatt was a pretty good match. It wasn't bad either. I thought they did the right thing having Bray Wyatt win. I think that was the correct way to go. All the hype with Bray Wyatt. If they had Ryback win, I wouldn't have been mad, but I would at least had to have seen Bray Wyatt do an excruciating amount of damage onto Ryback in order to win that match. But overall, I thought it was the correct thing to do with Bray Wyatt beating Ryback. Ryback doing that frog splash was absolutely, like, I thought it was pretty cool. Like, the fact that he didn't do, like, just a regular splash, like, he didn't just throw his arms up and jump on him. He actually did the arm movement, too, so it was kind of like a frog splash in a way. I thought it was pretty funny. Not like the most exciting thing for Ryback to do, but I mean, like, it was pretty cool to see him do some sort of frog splash. But yeah, Bray Wyatt hitting his sister Abigail and winning that match the way he did, it was a good ending to the match.
He drops the elbow.
Now there was Rusev and Cena in the I Quit match for the United States Championship. Now, as soon as it was announced an I Quit match, I mean, it was obvious, it was impossible for Cena to lose the match. It was impossible for Rusev to win it. It just didn't make any sense for it to be an I Quit match. I thought that was terrible. That ruined the match for me, is that it was an I Quit match, and it's impossible for Cena to lose an I Quit match. It just doesn't make any sense. Hustle, loyalty, respect, never give up. That's his motto. Now, the match itself was good. It was not a bad match. It was a pretty great match, actually. And, I mean, I just couldn't hate on the match itself. It was a good match.
Sheamus has eyes to finish.
Both of them got hit, like slammed onto many different objects, steel steps, through tables, I believe onto like a little barricade they set up against the ring that Cena got slammed into by a suplex from Rusev. But overall, of course, the correct thing to do was to have Cena win the match. You can't have Cena lose a submission match or an I Quit match. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now, Nikki and Brie versus Naomi and Tamina, I thought, you know, should be a match meant for Raw or SmackDown, probably a Raw match, but or even a kickoff match. Like, obviously, you can't have a Divas match as a kickoff match because they only have one Divas match per card, including pay-per-views. So, you can't have it as a kickoff match. But, I mean, it wasn't a real pay-per-view worthy match. If a Divas match is at a pay-per-view, it should be a more exceptional match. Like, a Divas title match, of course. Or if it's going to be a tag team match, make it like a 6 Diva tag team match or an 8 Diva, not just a regular Divas tag team, because those just, honestly, like, I'm not sexist in any way, it's just a fact, it just doesn't cut entertainment, it just doesn't work. Unless you have a Divas tag team title, which I doubt they'll ever bring to the WWE, maybe in the future, not the near future, but maybe they'll eventually bring it to the WWE, but I doubt it. So overall, I think the wrong people won the match. I thought the Bellas should have honestly won, but either way, the match wasn't good. Now, I almost forgot about it. Adrian Neville and Bad News Barrett. They had a good match. It was a pretty good match, but the fact that, you know, Neville winning by count out, you know, Barrett's kind of like, fuck you, whatever. I thought that was stupid, but then Barrett attacking Neville at the end, I was like, oh, that's actually pretty cool, you know, takes him at the end, and then Neville wins the brawl at the end or whatever. I thought that actually worked out decently. But, you know, overall the match was alright. I don't really have much else to say on it, because there wasn't like a good finish or anything. Now, the big match, of course, everyone should be talking about. is the Fatal 4-Way match between Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. Now, I love that. I can't stress this enough. I love how they had the Shield reunite for like a little move on Randy Orton there. The triple powerbomb on Randy Orton, them reuniting was just the craziest shit. And when Seth Rollins put his arms around their necks, I'm like, holy shit, they're actually together. I'm freaking out. I loved the Shield when they were together. Ever since they got disbanded, I've disliked Roman Reigns a lot more, but I've loved Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins a lot more as single competitors. But when Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns looked at him like, yeah, this isn't happening, this is a one-off, and they just went ahead and turned on Seth Rollins right there, I thought that was perfect. Like, just all the rumors of the Shield coming back together, and then them giving us false hope of that. I mean, I thought that was perfect how WWE did that. And then I think, again, the finish to the match was perfect. You saw Seth Rollins get the victory, pedigreeing Randy Orton. That was the greatest finish possible, I think. Just go ahead and pedigree Randy Orton. Seth Rollins did. That was just a great finish to the match. Now, I overall gave the pay-per-view a 9 out of 10 finish. I thought the pay-per-view was great. I just thought, you know, a couple of the matches shouldn't have even been on the pay-per-view. That's the thing that kind of got to me. And one or two of the matches didn't go the way they should have. Now, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit that like button. Also comment, let me know what you thought about Payback. And of course, hit that subscribe button.